Invoice Cloud early termination. I'll let Dan touch base with you on that, so.
Invoice Cloud was our credit card servicer. When we first started out, Josh Weiss originally was in charge of working with them, and their communication was spotty. And the software company that we work with in a large part of the county, and in fact the entire state, BSNA, decided they would come up with a credit card payment system, and theirs is much more efficient. It goes right into our systems. It reduces workload for us. And all we do is track to make sure everything works. So we informed or iCloud that we no longer needed their services, and they decided to hold us to a contract that would end in about 2.5 years. So we've been negotiating with the lawyers to try to get that to the best price we could, and we've settled on $10,000 to get out of that contract. And we will make that up over time with BSNA with less costs that they have. They charge less per month. And as I say, it's integrated, so it's a good move. It just stings a little bit, but it was something that was missed when they wrote the contract and said it's a 3-year, unless you say anything, it's gonna go another 3 years. And nobody knew when that 3 years was up. Just poor communication at that time, so now we're trying to keep all of our contracts front and center to make sure we're on track with everything. So we're looking for board approval to pay the Invoice Cloud termination contract for $10,000.
All right, I've got a few questions.
Great.
Number one, what was the agreed upon amount? If 10,000 was the negotiated amount, what was the agreement?
It started at 12.5. I came back with 8. The lawyer was, well, I'm kind of nervous about that, and then he came back and said, okay, they'll agree to 10.
Okay. Now, you know where my follow-up's gonna be, all right? What were our costs, and how many people were using credit cards to pay? I wanna know what the cost, because to me, 10 grand is a lot.
Sure, it
And
is.
if the original buyout or whatever was only 12.5, that's no negotiation. I mean, we have a terrible attorney.
Yes,
I'm gonna be blunt, that is not a negotiation. I would've started at 6
Yes,
or less,
yes,
25 cents on the dollar.
yes.
You want any money from me? I mean, all right,
Well, it's also money that they kind of made up and said, well, this is about what we would have made. There's no proof to that. You know,
right.
they're
So
trying
what
to-
do we know? What do we know from our budget, from our line items in the past 2 or 3 years? And it's probably inflated a bit just because of COVID and people paying online as opposed to coming in and paying with a check to begin with. Maybe. I know I pay my taxes with a check
Okay.
twice a year. And so I'm curious, do you know those numbers?
Not offhand, no. That's a good number to know. I'm caught flat-footed. when
Okay,
you
well,
said
and
how
that's
many
fair,
people-
I'm just, for me to be on board with this, oh my gosh, that's insane. And, I mean, if they're only gonna get like 2 grand or something from us projected for the next 3 years, all right, so we use BSNA and we have to manually enter them or something.
No, we
But
don't.
for 10 grand, huh?
We don't have to manually enter them.
Well,
with
that's-
BSNA. That's
Right,
the
well, no,
thing.
I understand, but for 10 grand, we can manually enter them.
Not really, until, I believe, and I can't remember the exact figures, but I think iCloud was $180 a month just to open the door. And BSNA, I can't remember their figure, that was less. But the savings are really in the integrated system that reduces the time that we have to go in and double enter all of the payments.
So we're talking $2,160 a year is what their fee is.
Right. And
Do
then
we know, I mean, because I need both sides of this.
Right,
I'm getting one side, and I'm getting a resolution from an attorney that says we should pay him 10 grand when we only would have to pay him 12.5 without them. I mean, for crying out loud, what's our bill to the attorney?
yes.
Another grand?
Mhm.
We're nowhere. That is, I just, that kind of stuff drives me nuts, and you guys know how I feel about it. I need more information. I'm sorry, but I don't like this. It doesn't smell good. I don't like it.
It's fine, we'll let you step into the negotiation track. I'd be happy to have you step in, work with that lawyer. And you're right, he is a junior guy. You know, I laughed when he came.
I don't need it. I don't need to work with a lawyer. I need to talk, I mean, if you're gonna negotiate directly with iCloud. Just say, listen, what, I mean,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, maybe the township doesn't offer credit card payments for their taxes. Maybe we cut it out for 2 years.
We don't need to do that because of BSNA.
But I'm just saying, for purposes of this, you delete it. You let this contract ride, and you pay them the $2,100 a year for 2.5, you said it was 2.5 years? Times 2.5, I'm at 5,400, like I said.
Right.
I'll give you your fees, but I'm not gonna sit there and bow down and bend over. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get animated, everybody, but it just, that's my.
Well, the math doesn't add
I just,
up.
it gets me going.
We agree.
The
This
math
is-
doesn't add up,
This
because
is-
it's
Well,
gonna
that's
cost
just-
us
that's
10
just-
grand to get out of
that's-
it, but
that's their-
5,000 to stay in it.
That's just their monthly fee, to open up the door.
Okay.
Now, every
Okay.
payment, they take
Let's-
3%,
Realistic.
All right.
so.
So,
It's realistic.
anyway,
and
I
it's
just,
board meeting.
I can get you more
Sorry.
figures,
I-
because it is in our benefit to get them off our backs. And you're right, I wasn't happy with that negotiation, but that's the lawyer that I was given. And I haven't been around enough to try to say, let's go up to a higher lawyer in the chain.
Okay, with this, you know, I agree with you 100%, but this is where the discussion needs to be made, and that's why we're having a hearing.
Yep.
As tough as it might be, and insulting as it might be to everybody else who's going around. So,
It's in neutral right now, there's no reason that we have to force it today. I'll be happy to get all of that information, Steve, so at the next board meeting, we can have a better comparison. And I'll be able to.
well, sure, I need apples to apples. I need BSNA's fees with the amount of money that we have projected, or that
Yes.
over the last 2 years, that we have run through credit cards.
Yes.
Because my hard stop would be, we're done with credit cards, we're not doing it. Or there's a, I mean, we have, anyway, okay,
I agree.
Okay,
sorry.
Okay,
Let's have a motion to table that then.
yes.
I would make a motion that we table this early termination agreement until we have further information.
Support.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I